The absolute mad lads. They did it. They unbanned Mind's Desire. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video, and Mind's Desire has been unbanned. For those of you who haven't been around Legacy for a long time, this is exciting because Mind's Desire was originally legal in Legacy for 6 days. Six days before being banned. And it's been just fully on the ban list for about 20 years now. So this is kind of a big deal. And let's talk about sort of what the initial chatter is right now, and then we'll go into the deck list itself that I'm going to be playing today. I'm recording this, literal hours after the ban announcement, so this is hot off the presses. So home one that people are chattering about is High Tide. And at a surface level, that makes sense because it's a blue storm card in a blue storm deck, checks all the right boxes. But it's more exciting there for another reason that's less obvious. Let's get one of my good friends on the screen here. Dark Ritual. But Phil, we know what Dark Ritual does. It's like in every deck you play. Quiet, Timmy. I've got teaching to do. So, Dark Ritual and all of its friends like Cabal Ritual have the same problem when it comes to Mind's Desire, and that is that they make black mana. And black mana is great and lets you cast fun cards like Opposition Agent. But, going back to our recently unbanned friend here, this requires blue mana. And it specifically requires blue, which means we're going to be jumping through a little bit of a hoop when compared to something like Tendrils of Agony, which just can be naturally cast off of the ritual mana you're making. And so keeping that in mind, some people are trying to think of ways to jump through the hoops more easily, where we're thinking about things like Mizzix's Mastery, where you can just say Faithless Looting away your Storm spell in the early game, and then at 4 mana off some rituals, maybe you cast your Mizzix's Mastery, you get your Mind's Desire, and then you just kind of keep going. And if you ever get to overload this thing, whoo, it is spicy. So the ultimate question with Mind's Desire is going to be, is doing something with Mind's Desire better than what already exists in the format? We have Ant, we have the Epic Gamble, we have the Epic Storm, we have Ruby Storm, and Mono Black Saga Storm, and all sorts of other stuff. Is messing around with Mind's Desire going to be actively good and better than what already exists? Or is this just another fringe option? Well, somebody's got to start doing the legwork. Why not me? Now, today's video is sponsored by both Moxfield.com as well as Cool Stuff Inc. And if you need some copies of Mind's Desire for your Legacy deck, check out Cool Stuff Inc. and use promo code ThrabenU to save 5% on your order. I want to give a quick shout out to AM Deaton from my Discord for donating to make a Mind's Desire list happen ASAP, as well as Cliffy of Storm fame for shipping me a deck list. So what you're looking at here is something very similar to the Ant, that is the Ad Nauseam Tendrils shell that we're used to working with, but minus the Ad Nauseam part, because we are going to be using Peer into the Abyss and Mind's Desire to fill the role that that card was previously filling. One of the big things that we're going to need to figure out over the course of this league is it just better to play Ad Naus because it's just castable off the rituals, or is the raw power of Mind's Desire going to be worth it? And that's really the big question that I, as well as 1,000 other Legacy pilots, are going to be trying to figure out over the next week or two. I want to give a shout out to Lorien Revealed here, which is like kind of just a 1-mana cycler that allows us to get our land, but in some instances it can get very cute with a Past in Flames later on, and is a pretty spicy Mind's Desire hit as well. The sideboard is relatively generic. We have cards like Dress Down, which can simultaneously answer any sort of hate bears that we need to answer, and then we have an assortment of various cards which can go and help us bounce various problem permanents out of the way. And we also have Chrome Mox for opposing combo matchups so that we can become a little bit faster if we need to. I think the most difficult thing for me today is probably going to be sideboarding with this deck. I've played plenty of decks that look like this in the past, but I'm going to have 0 reps with Mind's Desire, either with or against, because I wasn't playing Legacy 20 years ago when that 6-day period existed where this card was legal. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Let's hop into some matches. So I did a little playtesting before my league started, and I wasn't going to record any of that, but I just cast a Mind's Desire on turn 3 and hit 3 more Mind's Desires. So as you can imagine, that is going to get a little bit silly, and I just want to just go and show that off. I'm just gonna cast another card here to just put something else in my graveyard, just to make my Cabal Ritual better, to make this as silly as possible. So I have 9 mana. I get to cast a gajillion things for free from exile. And at any point I can just fire off a Tendrils. But before I do that, I could just Mind's Desire a whole bunch more. And then each Mind's Desire gets increasingly stronger and stronger as more things are sent into exile that will fuel future spells. So this is gonna be a silly league if things go well for me. All right, we have a reasonable hand that will likely do a turn 3 Mind's Desire. We're gonna try to punch a hole in my opponent's hand first, though. Excuse me? Fuck. Okay, how bad is it if I leave Infernal Tutor? Bad? Bad. I'll take Infernal Tutor. Alright. Ran the numbers. So, my opponent is really interesting. I think you saved that for Storm Count. I could be wrong. They could have something spicy like an Orcish Bowmasters in there too. And if so, I accept. The rest taking Mind's Desire is quite good. I'm in for that. No shuffle. Fetch. The other Underground Sea. The rest my opponent. Take Mind's Desire. Ah man, I'm in so much trouble. If my opponent tops an Infernal Tutor at any point. So this is a fair Infernal Tutor turn. Doesn't show up a lot, but it's important when it does happen. So with 1 more blue, I can do some hot things. And if I don't draw another blue, I might have Dark Petition lines. Okay, fantastic. Math time. Play Swamp, Dark Ritual 3, Dark Ritual 5, 6, 7. Can I do an intermediate Cabal Ritual? Or sorry, it'd have to be another Dark Ritual to just build Storm. Infernal Tutor to 1, Dark Ritual to 3, Dark Ritual to 5. Yes, I can. The Infernal Tutor again for another Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Dark Petition is interesting here. Costs me 2 mana. We'll go down to 3. Then Cabal Ritual afterwards. So Cabal Ritual, then I add 2 mana. Cabal Ritual. This requires my blue, but allows me to Mind's Desire for a relatively large number. And let's see what we hit. This is a bad Mind's Desire. Okay. It's probably fine. I get to cast these for free. Keep Cabal Ritual. Do this. This. Cast Cabal Ritual. Cast Free Brainstorm. Go back 1 and 2. Do some petals. I'll cast a Ponder. Take a shuffle there. Now we'll do a new Mind's Desire. This time with a Storm of 13. Yeah. So that was cool. I enjoyed that. So I would like to board in some Fluster Storms. They're real good here. And this is where I don't have any recent Storm experience to know what I should be boarding out. I played Ant quite a bit, many years ago. But things have changed a lot since then. I expect the game to be a slog. Maybe Chrome Mox becomes worse in that case. Maybe I drop one tutor. I just think a lot of times like we are going to like fluster and discard each other into oblivion. And so expecting the game to go long is very reasonable. My hand is mediocre, I'd say. I think I'm still going to keep it. I don't think I want a mulligan in this matchup, if possible. At least not where I'm on the draw, and probably just go. Alright, are you going now, or are you just avoiding discard? Oh, you're going now. So that's Infernal Tutor, double crack. Is 7 mana just Peer into the Abyss? 7 mana is just Peer into the Abyss. I think you Peer into the Abyss over Mind's Desire, assuming you have it. Okay, my opponent has Veil of Summer. So my opponent gets a draw 3. That wasn't necessarily a hot Mind's Desire. This until end of turn? Until end of turn, not end of your next turn, like some of the newer templated ones. Yep. Oh, there's the Hail Mary Brainstorm that tries to fix their hand. Infernal Tutor would be spicy. It is Infernal Tutor. What are you doing? Just win the game. The storm count is 13. Just Tendrils me. I mean, like, big Mind's Desire also probably kills me, but, like, there was just a deterministic lethal line there that doesn't require any gambling. Alright. So, there's another deterministic lethal line here, assuming Tendrils is a thing, where my opponent just Infernal Tutors 4 Tendrils and I die. Yeah. So they had that earlier and did not take it. My opponent is planning on YOLOing things. Makes my Chrome Moxen a little more interesting so I can try to go fast as well. Do I have a kill through Veil of Summer? I don't have a kill through Veil of Summer. Noted. Maybe when I'm on the play here. I want at least 2 of these. Past in Flames is a little bit less necessary, I think. Maybe I don't fluster if my opponent is specifically playing Veil. And I try to go under them. I don't have good heuristics here. Again, never played with or against Mind Desire in Legacy specifically. Turn 1 cantrip. Turn 2 Dark Ritual, 4 mana. Doesn't quite do anything. I think I ship this one. Okay. 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana. I'm 1 mana off Mind's Desire with access to LED. That's fine. Let's keep this and pitch Brainstorm. And just pass the turn here. So then end of turn, we're just going to go ahead and cycle here. And Underground Sea is my best land. I'm going to grab that. Don't have enough blue this turn. I am going to Duress and see if I can get a Veil out of my opponent's hand here. I succeed. Go ahead and pass the turn. Apologies if my moto sounds were a little loud there. Brainstorm's fine. Let's see what the follow-up is. Nothing immediately. This is not Veil of Summer mana. Yeah, double blue pips are awkward right here. We're gonna go ahead and just pass the turn. Not playing out my LED. I'm not... If my opponent discard spells me, like, it's quite bad. Yes. That was a very fast Brainstorm. And they're chilling. Yeah, this is more the speed that I was expecting from the game. Ooh. They're going for it. That's fine. Ooh. So there's 2 LEDs over there. Okay. I would like to ponder probably for disruption. It's disruption as well as a land. I'll take this 100% of the time. Let's see if my opponent has another Veil. It seems like they do, but I need to force the hand on them if my opponent does have them. They have a Flusterstorm. I accept. So I have an attempt at lethal on my turn if it gets back to me. Just land drop, Dark Rit, Cabal Rit, go. But it might not get back to me. That is Threshold. There's Infernal Tutor. Tracking for blue. My opponent casts Mind's Desire. Not good hits so far. That is mostly mana. My opponent needs to find a win condition off this Ponder, or I probably win. They do get 4 looks at 1, though, to be fair. Alright, that's a no shuffle, so I should be dead. There's the Cabal Rit, the LED. There's a draw 3 off Lorien Revealed, cracking LED in response. Okay. There's some fishing going on. Dark Ritual. Infernal Tutor for Tendrils. No, Infernal Tutor, there's a card in hand. Yeah. My opponent reveals Veil of Summer. Now, somewhat comically, I can't win through that Veil of Summer. And my opponent has 2 of them over there. So, geez, that's awkward. I think I just passed the turn here. That's my opponent's draw. So I think my plan is Fair Mind's Desire to improve my hand, or hope that my opponent casts these Veil of Summers in sort of a fair way. Not really interested in any of that. Brainstorm's fine. Put back 1, 2. We'll go ahead and fetch. And it's sort of my hope here that my opponent just cycles a Veil of Summer. They did not. Yeah, having no win condition that's not Tendrils is a little rough here. I also boarded out the Past in Flames, right? Just check, I did board out the Past in Flames. Yeah, I think another turn or so down the line, I just use Mind's Desire to reload my hand. Yeah. That's fine. Like, that's the risk of passing the turn. But like every card that I have there, I think matters a lot. This is a very awkward game now. Very, very awkward. I think I'm favored, but it's very hard to tell. All right, lose the Tendrils. That's fine. Okay. Sure. Don't know why you're playing that. Like, a storm count matters so much. Okay, there's a Duress, which I will take. Let's hide Ponder, Mind's Desire, cast a Duress. It's a Veil out of my opponent's hand. Yes. All right, there's just another land drop from my opponent. Are you out of fetchables? Ah, nice. I think this is the point where I've got enough stuff that I can expect a reasonable Mind's Desire to just go and do gross things. So we're going to cast some stuff and see where this goes. All right. Thought Seize. Bunch of artifact mana. Another Mind's Desire. A Cabal Ritual. Fantastic. Let's cast some spells. Cast Dark Ritual. I'll force the issue on this. Yeah, that's fine. Cabal Ritual. I'm going to cast these just to convert these into other cards. But again, it's very awkward that this can't be a win attempt turn. This is just draw like 15 cards. I think I just killed myself. So I have 2 copies of Tendrils of Agony as my 2 win conditions. And I borrowed the Past in Flames out, so I don't have a third. Yes, unfortunately, that will kill me. Can't peer into the abyss, my opponent. Can't Tendrils, my opponent. Yeah, my whole plan of rebuild past the turn does not work with that other Tendrils having been taken. Yeah, I cannot win from this position, unfortunately. GG's. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, just the best place to keep your online deck lists, and the reason I say that is it just has so much functionality. So for example, let's take a look at some random legacy deck here. You can click on your various 2-drop slots and you can see what % chance you have of casting various things on curve, and you can get a breakdown of your mana symbols and all of that stuff, and there's a lot more here than just this. Consider checking it out. Okay, round 2. I'm on the play. My hand doesn't really do anything as of right now. I have cantrips to sculpt it. If memory serves, my opponent plays fast combo decks, so I maybe just want to mulligan this one. This one's probably just going to be clunky no matter what. I think I like this better. Itch Brainstorm. I kind of know what I'm looking for with a hand like this. Like, I just keep a large amount of mana and hope that Ponder finds me a reasonable, I would call it threat, but that's not quite right. Dark Ritual, 5 mana, Lotus Petal, 6/7 mana, Mind's Desire next turn. Fuck yeah. No shuffle, pass. Wasteland, yes. Dark Ritual, 5 mana, Lotus Petal, 6 mana, 7 mana. Still? That's fine. I do the Lotus Petals first, probably. Blue matters quite a bit. Underground Sea. Dark Ritual. Mind's Desire. 5 copies. And let's see if it's kind to us. Yeah, it's kind to us. Yeah, no. I'm going to peer into the abyss. I'm going to spend the brainstorms first to see if I can find a discard spell to see what my opponent is playing, and then I just peer into the abyss myself and go off. I have seen a singular card from my opponent, which makes it very hard to sideboard. Like, I don't even know if it's blue or non-blue, which is kind of a huge problem. So not knowing that, I think I just whack the submit button and assume that the deck list is perfect. Does this do something on turn 1? Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, 3 mana. Dark Ritual, 5 mana. Infernal Tutor, 3 mana. Lion's Eye Diamond, 6 mana. Yeah, I kind of wish I had an Adnaz, but this is fine. Maybe. Fuck. Was not expecting that. Alright. Draw land off the top like a boss. Nice. Okay. Gotta be Underground Sea, unfortunately. Cast the Lotus Petal here. Fuck, Thorn of Amethyst is going to be hard to beat. Not impossible, but very tough. Okay. Got it. Let's fetch. Just gonna be another Underground Sea. And this is a duress, so I can figure out what the fuck is happening over there. Oh, it's just like sphere lands. Sure. I'm just gonna lose to a 20/20. That's fine. Thorn of Amethyst was unexpected. Sphere of Resistance is more common. Alright. Dark Ritual, 3 mana. Dark Ritual, still 3 mana. Arnold Tutor plus LED is not gonna do anything here. I will concede here. So now I know that I need some amount of this sort of stuff to bounce my opponent's permanents out of play. Or I just win under them with Chrome Mox. That's also legit. I can probably take out a little bit of top end here. Play about 3 answers. I also really do kind of just want to go under, though. Like, maybe hedge something like that. There's Thoughtseize for the first sphere effect. It's a little medium beyond that. But I'm going to be pretty decent. I don't have a basic swamp, right? I do have a basic swamp. Hell yeah. Basic swamp, good. Not really, honestly. I want to be able to brainstorm and fetch next turn. This is probably a turn 3 go offhand. Yeah, that's fine. I will take your Sphere of Resistance. Call it a turn. I'm not going to play out the LED here. I think my storm count matters. There's the Mox Diamond. Pitching Plains. What do you want me to do? I will cast a Brainstorm next turn. Sure. Alright, so the exploration has changed things. If I Brainstorm on my own turn, I'm going to need to bounce and get rid of Thorn within the same turn cycle. If I Brainstorm now, I risk Brainstorm locking myself, but can more easily split things up over multiple turns. I think I'm supposed to do it now. It just doesn't bring joy. Negative. Okay. Put back Duress and Infernal Tutor. I probably need to clear the card that I've seen, because I need one exact card. None of that will answer the Thorn. Can't play that. I probably have to play out the LED here. And I have to bounce Thorn and then win on my turn. Life's bad. So I ponder. I find a Hercule's Recall, but I now don't have the mana to actually cast it and still win. Chain of Vapor is almost right. Yeah, I am just on board dead to the Merit Lage, unfortunately. Yeah, my opponent top decked a second Thorn in the 1-turn window that they needed. That's a little frustrating, but that's magic. All right, I have kept a kind of slow and deliberate hand here, where I intend on picking apart my opponent's resources and then going off maybe around turn 4. Yeah, wastelanded in an annoying way. Probably. I mean, my opponent could just lead on the Delver on turn 1 and Bowmasters on turn 2. Like, they have a lot of ways they can play their hand. Yeah. Alright, so they are going to value just getting the clock into play. Interesting that they're not going to just take the immediate redraw off the bauble. So let's start planning for the future here. I have to plan for a future where I get wastelanded. Mind's Desire. 1 Infernal Tutor goes back. I don't really need to duress my opponent right now. I know most of their hand. Let's just kind of assume that that stuff goes. And we're just kind of on the hunt for more mana. If I get wastelanded, next turn 1, 2, 3. Whether or not I get wastelanded is kind of a big deal here, isn't it? Because of Threshold for Cabal Ritual. I think I'm into this. No shuffle, pass turn. 5 cards in my graveyard. Lotus Petal 6, Polluted Delta 7. My Underground Sea is potentially 8. Alright, Bobble happens now. There's the Wasteland. Sure. Alright. I get hit for 1. 2 unknown cards in my opponent's hand. Land drop. Is this the turn? Chromox, Imprint, Infernal Tutor. Fetch, Cabal Ritual. 5, 6, 7. This is probably my turn. Let's do it. So, Chromox. Imprint, Infernal. 7 cards in graveyard. Grab a Volk. Cabal Ritual with Threshold. And this is a smaller Mind's Desire than I would like, but it's the Mind's Desire I'm getting. Oh, shit, it's another Mind's Desire. Fuck yeah. So, cast Lotus Petal. Cast Dark Ritual. Cast Brainstorm for free. Put back 1, 2. I will Thoughtseize my opponent here. Okay, the coast is clear. We're going off. Take Bowmasters. All right, now I cast Mind's Desire. Oh, there's Peer into the Abyss. Yeah, that is GG. There's also just a Tendrils there. So we've got this. So Dark Ritual, Ball Ritual, and we don't need to play with our food. I'll just cast Tendrils now. Good stuff. So I can play Flusterstorms if I want to fight back against my opponent's counter magic. I can also just rely on 8 discard spells to punch my way through. And this is where I don't have current sideboarding heuristics to know how I'm supposed to approach this. I think I'm just whacking the submit button for this game. It's possible the game starts going long enough that I start thinking about Chrome Mox over a Lotus Petal. But I really need the Lotus Petals to help me hit double blue a lot of times. Well, again, that hand is just a trap. Is this hand actually bad? This hand might not actually be bad. Like, I just keep a hand that can make land drops for a few turns. Hope I'm not under the gun of a turn 1 Delver. Technically wish granted. Don't super want that here. Let's grab the basic and ponder. Yeah, all this stuff's fine. We'll take Duress and Dark Ritual of these. And again, we just plan on playing nice and slow. Use our life total as a resource. And then probably try to go off the turn before I think I'm going to die. Alright, there's a second land drop from my opponent. I'm only taking 1 this turn. Everything's fine so far. This will get a basic swamp. We'll just remain unwastelandable. And let's take a little peek-see. I see. Well, next turn's probably going to be fun. Take Pyroblast. Oh man, I'm not used to Pyroblast countering my payoff spells. A little weird. This is just going to be my opponent flooping Murktide into play. And Dragon Rage Channeler into play? Yeah. Alright, I'll take 1. Alright. Let's draw a Ritual, please. It is another land, unfortunately. So it's safe for me to go for it here, and I just can't. I can do a very unimpressive Mind's Desire next turn that I would very much prefer not to do. Alright. The Wasteland is not particularly good right now. It's not that it does nothing. It has text. Alright, Dark Ritual, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I can peer into the abyss, target myself playing around Daze. That sounds good. So we'll see if my opponent has some gas here. We're fetching. Do Underground Sea. I do want to do both of these. Underground Sea. Peer into the abyss. Target myself. Am I doing it? Or do I get, like, stuffed by Flusterstorm? Alright, you're gonna make me make my choice on mana. I will choose black. Okay. I assume that I get to a win somehow from here. I don't think I need to think very hard. So accordingly, I am not going to. Cast a second LED. Cast one of these. Imprint something black. I am going to go ahead and just do a Duress and just check and make sure that there is nothing over there. There shouldn't be, but it's better to know now if there is. Surgical Extraction, targeting Peer into the Abyss. Don't think that is the ideal target for Surgical Extraction. I think, like, what am I gonna... I'm probably not going to have a second one of those in my deck. Alright, Polluted Delta is the last card in hand. So I will cast Dark Ritual, cast Cabal Ritual, and this is just a Lethal Tendrils. I don't even need to get cute. Alright, so we get there. GG's. Okay, so we're in round 4. My hand doesn't do anything. This is a keep. Probably pitching Duress. I don't think I can... oh, fuck, I'm on the play. Anyway, I don't think I can afford double discard with this hand. Let's see what my opponent is up to. Fuck off with your Sphere of Resistances tonight, folks. Why? I'll take Sphere. Damn it. I get wastelanded and have no mana. F. Sure. Pitch Maze. Yeah. So I have no plays here. On my opponent's end, I think they misplayed by not playing Soul Guide Lantern. I think my opponent can presume what deck I am on at this point. And I am a deck that cares about Threshold. So just like literally putting that in play is a little scary. So at some point, I can Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual up to 3, up to 4, Infernal Tutor down to 2. I don't think I crack Lotus Petal for Brainstorm yet. And my hope is that my opponent just like dredges Life from the Loam instead of taking draw steps to go towards Sphere of Resistance, which is the card that beats me. Yeah, so my opponent could have just used 1 mana last turn and then recast a Life from the Loam this turn and still be like holding up Wasteland or whatever. I'm still not willing to pull the trigger on a Brainstorm yet. Oh, okay, sure. I'm going to take Life from the Loam off the screen. That's not the sort of thing that I'm going to forget here. There's Horizon Canopy for another look at a Sphere. F. Okay. I think at this point I'm far enough away from winning that I'm willing to concede. Like, technically with multiple Cabal Rituals, I can beat a Sphere of Resistance. But on 0 lands with a Wasteland lock in play, I just don't think that that is going to happen. So I need some number of cards that bounce or otherwise deal with spheres. I'm probably never getting to enough mana where Past in Flames super matters. I think I can trim a Dark Petition or 2. And I think I'm going to keep all the answers to the spheres. I just can't miss dealing with that. This deals with one, but is so far away from casting a Mind's Desire that I think I just ship this. Yes. Turn 1, turn 2, tap Swamp, use it, get Island. Chrome Mox is probably hard to use with this hand. Let's throw that back. Let's take a Sphere. We took a Sphere. So my opponent's hand is pretty close to having no text in this matchup. Exploration is a great top deck for them. Does make their Mox Diamond notably less good. So let's Island Cycle. I want the basic 100% of the time. Let's Ponder. I'm looking for something like a Ritual. I think I have to say no to this stuff. That's a Ritual. So I'm 1 mana off from a small Mind's Desire. I would like to... Tabernacle still in? Interesting. I guess it hedges against goblins. I suppose I didn't show my opponent that many cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're not quite there. We're chilling. I'm not going to play out that non-basic land into Wasteland here. I do have to worry about just crop rotation, get Thespian Stage, and I die. Chromox, Imprint, Mind's Desire. And we go. Seems like it is time. I can maybe wait 1 more turn, but my opponent finding some stuff could be catastrophic for me. This is only worth 3 mana. This is kind of a nakey Mind's Desire for 4, where one of my Mind's Desires is already out of my deck. Dark Ritual. I need a payoff card. Or at least a cantrip? No, I found 4 pieces of artifact mana. No redraw, no finisher. rough. Yeah. So I'm chilling here, unfortunately. So there's the crop rotation, getting rid of the tabernacle. Finding the stage. No spirit guide to instantly kill me. There's blast zone. So let's see. Another card deep would have just been a dark ritual for next turn. Then I die to the onboard Dark Depths Thespian stage combo. I will concede. I would have gotten exactly one card deeper if I continued on. It would have gotten me to a Brainstorm off the Mind's Desire. And I can't see what I would have drawn now. Okay, I have a bit of a slow hand here that I think I am going to keep. Don't sphere me again. I don't have the third sphere round in me while I'm trying to test the new Storm deck. Fuck. Okay, well this is fine. It's at least something different. I'll put a land into play. It's an Emrakul. I now need to turn one my opponent. I don't think that can happen. I don't think that can happen, so I should just concede and not show my opponent any more cards. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright. So I would like Chrome Moxen to go faster than my opponent. Probably also need Flusterstorm. These are the 5 cards that I'm looking at. I feel like this is an okay starting point. If I bring in 2 Chrome Mox, I can probably get rid of 1 land. I don't know if I should keep cutting these Dark Petitions like I am. They're a really good card to hit off Mind's Desire, but as long as I don't hit mono mana, I should be fine off any medium-sized Mind's Desire. What does this do? Chromox, Imprint, Ponder. Chromox, Imprint, a Ritual. Alternatively, Chromox, Imprint, Mind's Desire, Ponder. Will Ponder hitting Infernal Tutor just win me the game? No. Don't have ad nos lines, which are easy. I think I ship this one. I'll keep this pitching 1 Brainstorm. Feels like this is probably going to fall a little short. But maybe I'm wrong. I would like Ponder to find land and a discard spell. No. From Mox Imprint, Mind's Desire, Cabal Ritual, 3 mana, Cabal Ritual, 4 mana. Peer into the Abyss, no. Okay, what if I Brainstorm? With LED, that's not quite going to get me to where I want to either. I'm going to shuffle that. Misty Rainforest is fine. My opponent now gets to spend some time setting up. I would like to find a discard spell to either stop their plan or punch a hole for me to go off. Okay. This is not my ideal. Thoughtseize is great. Chrome Mox goes back. Cabal Ritual goes back. Yeah. Then we'll fetch another UC and see if we can punch a hole. Force of Will's scary. Force of Will could mean that I'm dead. Just to like Ancient Tomb show and tell. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. That's cute tech. I will have my opponent draw a card rather than randomly take 15. Maybe that's not true the first time, actually. Yeah, this is a random card. I will say no. Nice, take 0. Okay. I can do a very small Mind's Desire. I don't think I am supposed to do that. So let's just cast a regular old Infernal Tutor here. Or Dark Ritual. Pull a Dark Ritual out of the deck. I could... this doesn't get me black. F. Finishing my thought, I could... I have enough mana to Dark Ritual, Lotus Petal. Oh, but I don't have the right colors. No, it wasn't a thing anyway. JK. Next turn. So, Sneak Attack plus Spirit Guide could be a disaster. White? Interesting. Sorcery Speed Fetch as well. Yeah, you don't get to draw cards here. 2 top. No. Take 1. All right. Brainstorm. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Lotus Petal. Brainstorm seems fine. So let's do this. I'll hold Infernal Tutor in hand. I don't like. I could play Ponder, but I just don't want to get stuffed and then be left with nothing. So basic island, Mind's Desire. Don't fluster me. Okay, cool. Cabal Ritual, Mind's Desire, Thoughtseize. Yes. So Thoughtseize target you. What the fuck are you doing over there? You had Sneak Attack, activate, put in Atraxa. Okay. Take Sneak Attack. Yeah, like I could have been dead, and instead I am not dead. And I enjoy not being dead. Cast Mind's Desire. Alright. Cast a Cabal Ritual. At this point, I just have Lethal Storm. So I don't need to get cute. We can just win. Tendrils and Tendrils you. Yeah, I don't know if my opponent thought they were bluffing or what, but I don't see any world in which you don't put in Atraxa and attack. I am actually going to keep this hand. It doesn't do a lot towards me winning immediately, but a Fluster stopping my opponent's first attempt at going off with this much mana and the ability to hit 3 land drops sounds perfectly fine to me. I still don't understand what this white is for. Is Duress better than Fluster? They do different things. I think I hold up Fluster this turn. There's the show and tell. Here's the Fluster to say no. All right. Let's try to further poke a hole in what my opponent is doing. Okay. Well, I'll take the Flusterstorm and pass the turn. My opponent has a lot of cards that don't do anything. If they randomly get enough mana to cast this, it can be a problem. Yeah, 100% Island Cycle this. Yes. That resolves. That is the only copy of that in my deck. Pick up Underground Sea. Thoughtseize is amazing. Yeah, I'll take this thing. And now I just wait for a payoff card. I don't beat that. Leyline of Sanctity is not a card that I would have expected out of Show and Tell. Yeah, so I just have literal no outs to that because Tendrils is my win condition and I didn't board in a bounce spell. This is incredibly disappointing. GG's. Alright, so where are we at the end of this league? Mind's Desire feels like a reasonable legacy power level card that I would not be embarrassed to play, but I don't think the deck list that I played today was good. And I don't mean to discredit the deck builder here. The deck just had an innate problem, and I lost multiple rounds to the same problem. And it's literally a problem you can fix by adding 1 card. And the problem is that as this deck is currently constructed, it can't beat a Veil of Summer or a Leyline of Sanctity or any other similar effect because it has no win condition that does not target. And that's an easy to fix problem. For example, you could play something like an Ave Progenitor Mimic or an Empty the Warrens. You just need something that can cause you to win the game when you can't target the opponent. And I just very, very easily win games if my deck contains, like, I win 2 more rounds if my deck contains anything that allows me to beat those effects, but it didn't. And this is one of those things where when you playtest an early version of a deck list, it often has problems that you very quickly find the answers to. And like, I found the thing that needs to be fixed in this deck list. And that means that this league is a success, even if the scoreboard wasn't super favorable. So I don't feel like Mind's Desire is going to be like the next big broken thing, but the card's good, especially in multiples, but it's definitely more volatile and more risky than something like, say, an Adnause. And Adnause also just costs less mana and doesn't require the extra pips to jump through. Like, the rituals not directly fueling the Mind's Desire is a huge deal. And we'll see if maybe some of the Blue Storm decks treat this a little bit better. But yeah, very happy to have recorded with this so early on, and we'll see how things develop over the next week or so. Again, you need your Mind's Desires and other new cards. Check out Cool Stuff Inc. Use promo code ThrabenU, save 5% on your order, and I hope you all have a great rest of the day. See ya!